Hello, everybody. This is Joseph Guavas reading a chapter from Management Theory, MGT-310, Section 42. This is an online class. The book is titled Management, Leading and Collaborating in a Competitive World, edition 15 by Thomas Bateman and Scott Snell. We're going to be starting with chapter 1, and here we go. Part 1, Foundations of Management. Foundations of Management. Bulleted points. Managing and performing. The external and internal environments. And managerial decision-making. Planning, delivering strategic value, followed by bulleted points, planning and strategic management, ethics, corporate responsibility and sustainability, international management, and entrepreneurship. We got 3 other sections. I'm going to be reading left to right. Organizing. Building a dynamic organization. Bulleted points are as followed. Organization structure. The adaptive organization. Human resource management. And cultivating diversity and inclusiveness. Going to the right, leading, mobilizing people. Bulleted points are leadership, motivating for performance, teamwork, and communicating. Controlling. Moving on to the right, Controlling, learning and changing. Bulleted points are as follows. Managerial control, managing technology and innovation, and creating and leading change. Chapter 1, Managing and Performing. Above all else, management is a practice where art, science, and craft meet. To be sure, managers need specialized knowledge. But more important, they need wisdom. The ability to weave together and make use of different kinds of knowledge. Henry Mintzberg. Learning objectives. After studying this chapter, you will be able to summarize the major challenges of managing in the new competitive landscape. Describe the sources of competitive advantage for a company. Explain how the functions of management are evolving in today's business environment. Compare how the nature of management varies at different organizational levels. Define the skills you need to be an effective manager. Understand the principles that will help you manage your career. Chapter outline. Managing in a competitive world includes globalization, technological change, knowledge management, and collaboration. Managing for competitive advantage includes innovation, quality, service, speed, cost competitiveness, sustainability, delivering all types of performance. The functions of management includes planning, delivering the strategic value, organizing, building a dynamic organization, leading, mobilizing people, controlling, learning and changing, and performing all 4 management functions. Management levels and skills includes top-level managers, middle-level managers, frontline managers, Working leaders with broad responsibilities and must have management skills. You and your career includes be both a specialist and a generalist. Be self-reliant. Connect with people. Actively manage your relationship with your organization. And survive and thrive. Manager's brief. Management in action. Lindsay Snyder. Management in and out to success. Or managing in and out to success. What does a manager do? Dream up a bold new vision for the company. Build a corporate structure that ensures success. Lead and inspire others. Keep the company on track toward its goals. Most managers perform all these functions to some degree. The best managers in companies are all over the world lead, plan, organize, and control to help employees reach their potential so organizations can thrive in the highly competitive global marketplace. Lindsay Snyder, CEO of fast food chain In-N-Out Burger, has proven to be an effective leader by doing all of these things. In fact, Snyder was recently ranked as one of the top 5 CEOs in the United States. Over the past decade, Snyder expanded In-N-Out Burger's devoted following to over 300 stores. She's done so in part by creating a constructive and positive work environment. In-N-Out offers strong job training programs and benefit plans for part-time and full-time staff. It also pays its employees an average of $13 an hour, 25% more than most competitors. Says Snyder, "My hope is that anyone who spends time as an In-N-Out associate finds the experience valuable." Clearly, the employees seem to feel appreciated, as In-N-Out Burger was recently ranked as the 4th best workplace in the United States. In this chapter, you will see how Snyder applies each of the 4 main functions of management: leading, planning, organizing, and controlling, to ensure her company's success. In business, there is no alternative to managing well. Companies like In-N-Out Burger, featured in the Management in Action Manager's Brief, may fly high for a while, but they cannot thrive for very long without good management. It's the same for everyone reading this book and intending to work for a living. The best performers succeed by being good at fundamentals, knowing what else is important, and managing well. The aim of this book is to help you succeed in those pursuits. Managing in a competitive world. Summarize the major challenges of managing in the new competitive landscape. When the economy is soaring, business seems easy. Investing in the stock market seems like a sure bet when the bulls are carrying the market higher and higher, but the reality is that things change. The Great Economic Recession of 2008 eradicated the real estate boom of the early 2000s and crushed stock prices and company profits, leading to wide-scale layoffs and high unemployment. The economy slowly but steadily recovered during the 2010s. Employment across all sectors of the economy hit record highs, wages rose, and stocks enjoyed the longest bull run in history. This historic expansion came to a devastating halt when COVID-19 pandemic forced the economy to shut down in March and April of 2020, putting millions of people out of work overnight and forcing all companies from Fortune 500 multinationals to local mom-and-pop stores to rethink how they do business. At such times, it becomes clear that managing is a challenge requiring knowledge, strategic thinking, and skills to adapt to new circumstances. What defines the competitive landscape of business? Question mark. You will be reading about many relevant issues in the coming chapters, but we begin here by highlighting 4 ongoing challenges that characterize the business landscape: globalization, technological change, The importance of knowledge and ideas, and collaboration across organizational boundaries. Effective managers must continually acquire knowledge and skills to adapt to new circumstances. Globalization. Far more than in the past, today's enterprises are global, with offices and production facilities in countries all over the world. Corporations operate worldwide, transcending national borders. Companies that want to grow often need to tap international markets. The global marketplace presents big opportunities for small companies too. Globalization also means that a company's talent and competition can come from anywhere. Fortune magazine annually publishes a list of the world's most admired companies. For the 13th straight year, Apple was the most admired company overall in 2020. Meanwhile, companies from around the world achieved top ranks in most sectors. Switzerland-based Nestle was the most admired maker of consumer food products in 2020, for example. Japan's Toyota Motor was the most admired producer of motor vehicles, and Ireland's Accenture was the most admired provider of information technology services. According to Fortune's 2020 Global 500 list, the 5 largest firms are Walmart, United States, Sinopec Group, China, State Grid, China, China National Petroleum, China, and Royal Dutch Shell, United Kingdom, the Netherlands. Globalization affects small companies as well as large. Many small companies export their goods. Many domestic firms assemble their products in other countries. And companies are under pressure to improve and lower the price of their products in the face of intense competition from foreign manufacturers. Managers today must ask themselves, how can we be the best in the world? Technological change. Online customer engagement, artificial intelligence and machine learning, data protection and privacy, and 5G are only some of the ways that technology is vitally important in the business world. Technology both complicates things and creates new opportunities. The challenges come from the rapid rate at which communication, transportation, information, and other technologies change. For example, after just a couple of decades of widespread desktop use, customers switched to laptop models, which required different accessories. Then, users turned to mini laptops, tablets, smartphones, and smartwatches to meet their mobility technology needs. Good managers anticipate and respond to changing customers' wants and needs. How are these forces impacting business? The internet is a global and digital marketplace, a means for manufacturing goods and services, a distribution channel, a platform for connecting customers, an information service, an arena for social activism, and more. It drives down costs and accelerates globalization. It improves efficiency of decision making. Managers can use it to learn in real time what companies around the world are doing. These advantages create business opportunities. They also create threats from hackers and computer viruses, ethical dilemmas, competitors that capitalize sooner on new developments than you do, and internet activists who unfairly harm public images. Cancel culture. More constructively, internet activism also offers a powerful way to expose corrupt or harmful practices and motivate organizations to change their ways for the better. What's next for the digital frontier? It's hard to predict with precision, but as billions of people and businesses worldwide will demand more personalized and connected experiences, artificial intelligence will affect the interfaces between humans and technology and society. The McKinsey Global Institute predicts that the next generation of connectivity technologies and network upgrades will bring billions of new users online in developing economies and create trillions of dollars in advanced economies worldwide. And here's a vital point about technology. It's not all about information technologies. As one important example, which heavily employs information technologies, biology-based innovations will transform the way we eat, dress, and produce goods. For instance, the McKinsey Global Institute predicts that biology-based technologies will help build 60% of all physical inputs to the global economy, and 30% of all research and development (R&D) spending could go toward biology-related industries. Huge opportunity exists in the healthcare, as we learn how biology can better help us address old and evolving new diseases. Spotlight on making decisions with technology. Mark Zuckerberg, founder and CEO of Facebook, achieved tremendous success driven by technological prowess and a marketable idea. Less visible are the myriad management challenges he faced early on, and the many different challenges he faces now. It's been quite a journey, and you can read more about it in Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. Can he manage through turbulent times? The case at the end of part 1 and of chapter 3. Here, as we write this in mid-2021, we mention some serious controversies, security breaches, discriminatory analytics, accusations of 2016 election meddling, spreading of misinformation, amplifying of extremism and political polarization, mental health issues among Facebook users, and reliance on unfair algorithms to predict human behavior. Decisions previously made by the company's humans. These famous difficulties, which hurt financially and reputationally, emerged then and continue spreading now from ever-evolving technologies and managerial decisions about how to deploy them. Despite the risks, the potential of artificial intelligence, AI, and other technologies remains vast. Zuckerberg believes AI will soon bring countless improvements to organizations, society, and quality of life. Moreover, using technology responsibly can help earn the trust of communities, users, customers and clients, employees, and beyond. For these and other reasons, some of our Spotlight on features will highlight management decision making about technologies. Not technical details, but complex organizational, human, and societal impacts and considerations. We urge you to think hard about how you can best apply your human skills as you work hard to make good choices. You will be learning more about this throughout this management book and your course. Knowledge management. Companies in advanced economies are now efficient at producing physical goods, so most employees have been freed up to provide creative and innovative new services or abstract goods. Examples include software, entertainment, data management, consulting, and advertising. These workers, whose primary contributions are ideas and problem-solving expertise, are often referred to as knowledge workers. Managing these workers poses some particular challenges, which we examine throughout this book. Companies and managers always need good new ideas. Knowledge management is a set of practices aimed at discovering and harnessing an organization's intellectual resources, fully using the intellects of the organization's people. Knowledge management is about finding, unlocking, sharing, and capitalizing on the most precious resources of an organization: people's expertise, skills, wisdom, and relationships. Knowledge managers find these human assets, help people collaborate and learn, generate new ideas, and harness those ideas into successful innovations. Collaboration. Leveraging knowledge for maximum impact requires people in different departments, divisions, or subunits of the organization to collaborate and communicate effectively. For example, T-shaped managers break out of the traditional corporate hierarchy to share knowledge freely across the organization, the horizontal part of the T, while remaining committed to the bottom line performance of their individual business units, the vertical part. Consulting firm McKinsey originally developed this T-shaped concept as a way for its employees to view clients' problems from both broad and deep perspectives. Collaborations can occur beyond the boundaries of the organization, between businesses or between sectors. Private sector business, government, and nonprofit and non-governmental organizations, NGOs. Companies today sometimes work with rather than against their competitors. You'll read some examples later, in a dynamic sometimes called coopetition. Perhaps there's no more vivid and useful example of these dynamics than the international efforts to combat pandemics. Well-coordinated global collaborations, including between the United States and China, defeated the HINI pandemic in 2009 and later prevented Ebola pandemics. But when COVID-19 hit, relations between those two countries were worse. This and other factors, political discord and intense competition for medical supplies, or medial supplies, severely delayed and damaged the global response. On a more positive note, a 2020 survey showed that CEOs expect interorganizational collaborations to increase in the future, inspired partly by the ones that so quickly developed the vaccines that combat COVID-19. Managers, governments, and organizations in every sector compete largely over scarce resources. Budgets, customers, power, natural resources, and more, of every kind. But they also discover plenty of reasons to create partners and alliances. For instance, attaining power in numbers, combining knowledge, learning from one another, reducing costs, innovating faster, and tackling important societal issues. Managing for competitive advantage. Describe the sources of competitive advantage for a company. The early internet years, 1990s, turned careers and lives upside down. Students dropped out of school to join internet startups or start their own. Managers in big corporations quit their jobs to do the same. Investors pounced and invested heavily. The risks were often ignored or downplayed, sometimes tragically as the boom went bust in 2000. Consider also an earlier industry with similar transforming power, the automobile industry. Over the years, entrepreneurs started at least 2,000 car companies, and very few remain. What is the lesson to be learned from the failures in these important transformational industries? A key to understand the success of a company is how well it both creates and sustains competitive advantage. To survive and win over time, you have to gain and maintain advantages over the competition. You do this by being better at doing valuable things for your customers. But what does this mean specifically? The fundamental drivers of competitive advantage, contributors to bottom line organizational performance, are innovation, quality, service, speed, cost competitiveness, and sustainability. You will be expected to perform on these dimensions. Bottom line. Because it's easy for managers to be so busy that they lose sight of what really drives performance, You will periodically see icons as bottom line reminders of the need for innovation, quality, service, speed, cost competitiveness, and sustainability. Which two or more of these advantages do you think would be hardest to deliver at the same time? And most importantly, why? Innovation. Products don't sell forever. In fact, they don't sell for nearly as long as they used to because competitors are continuously introducing new products. Your firm must continually innovate or it will die. Innovation is the introduction of new goods and services. Your firm must adapt to changes in consumer demands and to new competitors. The need for innovation is driven in part by globalization. One reason is that facilities in other countries can manufacture appliances or write software code at a lower cost than those in the United States. U.S. facilities thus operate at a disadvantage. Therefore, they must provide something their foreign competitors can't, and often that requires delivering something new. Innovation is today's holy grail. Like the other sources of competitive advantage, innovation comes from people. It must be a strategic goal, and it must be managed properly. Later chapters show you how great companies innovate. When people think of innovative companies, Apple often springs to mind. But innovation is not just a tech thing. Fast Company's top 10 innovators for 2021 included Moderna and Pfizer. BioNTech, tied for number 1. Shopify, Spring Hill Company, Epic Games, Netflix, Talk, and Graphica. Quality. Most companies claim that they are committed to quality. In general, quality is the excellence of your product. Customers expect high quality goods and services, and often they will accept nothing less. Historically, quality pertained primarily to the physical goods that customers bought. It referred to attractiveness, lack of defects, and dependability. The traditional approach to quality was to check work after it was completed and then eliminate defects, using inspection and statistical data to determine whether products were up to standards. Later, W. Edwards Deming, J. M. Duran, Phil Crosby, and other quality gurus convinced managers to take a more complete approach to achieving total quality. This includes preventing defects before they occur, achieving zero defects in manufacturing, and designing products for quality. The goal is to solve and eradicate from the beginning all quality-related problems and to live a philosophy of continuous improvement in how the company operates. Additional quality appears when companies customize goods and services to the wishes of the individual consumer. Starbucks gives consumers thousands of drink options. Gatorade GX allows customers to create customized bottles. Nike's 90 to 10 pack sneakers give customers the opportunity to participate in designing their own shoes. And Icon Meals permits customers to create custom meal plans online. Providing world-class quality requires a thorough understanding of what quality really is. Quality can be measured in terms of product performance, customer service, reliability, avoidance of failure or breakdowns, conformance to standards, durability, and aesthetics. Only when you move beyond broad, generic concepts such as quality and identify specific quality requirements can you identify problems, target needs, set precise performance standards, and deliver world-class value. When you're out of quality, you're out of business. Phil Crosby. Important quality measures often pertain to the service customers receive. Service means giving customers what they want or need, when they want it. World-class world-class service focuses on continually meeting the needs of customers and establishing mutually beneficial long-term relationships. Thus, cloud computing companies, in addition to providing online access to software, applications, and other computer services, also help their customers store and analyze large amounts of customer and employee data. An important aspect of service quality is making it easy and enjoyable for customers to experience a service or to buy and use goods. At all its parks and resorts, Disney trains employees to treat every customer as a VIP, a very individual person. By personalizing guest experiences to make them feel special. Disney Institute teaches business professionals exceptional service, though carefully architected backstage, should look spontaneous and personalized on stage. Spontaneous interactions with customers can create long-lasting memories and affirm the company's brand promise. Speed. Google constantly and rapidly improves its search product. In fact, its culture is based on speedy innovation. In the modern business environment, speed, fast execution, response, and delivery often separates the winners from the losers. How fast can you develop and get a new product to market? How quickly can you respond to customer requests? You are far better off if you are faster than the competition, and if you can respond quickly to your competitors' actions. Author Eric Ries stated about moving quickly: "The only way to win is to learn faster than anyone else." Speed isn't everything. You can't get sloppy in your quest to be first, but other things being equal, faster companies are more likely to be the winners, slow ones the losers. Even pre-internet companies were getting products to market and in the hands of customers faster than ever. Now the speed requirement has increased exponentially. Everything, it seems, is on fast forward. Speed is no longer just a goal of some companies. It is a strategic imperative. In 2018, Quicken Loans, owned by Rock Holdings Incorporated, supplanted Wells Fargo as the largest provider of mortgage loans in the United States. Quicken marketed its new self-service mortgage product, Rocket Mortgage, as fast, secure, and completely online. Quicken Loans became quicker than before and quicker than many others when it introduced Rocket Mortgage. Cost competitiveness. Needless to say, if you can offer a desirable product at a lower price, it is more likely to sell. Walmart keeps driving hard to find new ways to cut billions of dollars from its already very low distribution costs. Walmart's efforts are aimed at cost competitiveness, which means keeping costs low enough so that the company can realize profits and price its products, goods, or services at levels that are attractive to consumers. Of course, the pricing of any good or service is tied to demand. The COVID-19 pandemic decimated the airline industry worldwide as countries restricted cross-national travel and people feared catching the virus when flying. To cover their costs by drumming up demand, many airlines offered steeply discounted airfares. Ireland-based Ryanair ran a buy one, get one free promotion. Alaska Air offered a similar deal. Other airlines, such as Malaysia's Air Asia, offered unlimited flights at a fixed price. These firms are competing not only with each other, but for revenues to exceed costs and to survive. In the digital age, every company must pay close attention to cost because consumers can easily compare prices from thousands of competitors. Consumers looking to buy popular items such as cameras, printers, and plane fares easily go online to find the best models and the best deals. If you don't control costs and offer attractive prices, you can't compete. Sustainability. Cutting energy waste can cut costs and help the bottom line while also helping the environment. Such efforts are just one way to minimize the use and loss of resources, especially those that are polluting and non-renewable. This is a core goal of sustainability, an important form of competitive advantage, and more vital than ever before. Although sustainability means different things to different people, in this text we emphasize a long-term perspective on sustaining the natural environment and building tomorrow's business opportunities while effectively managing today's business. In the United States, corporate sustainability efforts fluctuate as environmental laws are strengthened or loosened. Overall, the worldwide trend has been in the direction of a greater concern for sustainability. Many companies discover that addressing sustainability issues can produce bottom-line benefits. Companies with strong sustainability performance are increasingly becoming financial winners, and investors are catching on. Most global asset managers now factor in how businesses score on environmental, social, and governance (ESG) metrics. Merrill summarized studies showing that firms with higher ESG ratings produced higher rate of returns than their lower-ranking peers. Patagonia, for example, does not want customers to discard their outdoor gear that has a broken zipper, tear in the sleeve, or chewed-up Velcro closure. Known as the Worn Wear program, the company hopes to keep its products out of landfills by offering free repairs with no questions asked. The program is working. In 2017, 14 employees from its Reno, Nevada service center made more than 50,000 clothing repairs. Sustainability is about protecting our options. Done properly, sustainability allows people to live and work in ways that can be maintained over the long term, generations, without destroying or harming our environmental, social, and economic resources. Delivering all types of performance. Don't assume that you can settle for delivering just one of the 6 competitive advantages. Low cost alone or quality alone, for example. As illustrated in Exhibit 1.1, the best managers and companies deliver on all of these performance dimensions. Circle chart for managers develop performance. At the top we have innovation. Right, quality. Bottom of quality we have service. Left of service we have speed. Left of speed we have cost effectiveness. On top of cost effectiveness we have sustainability. To the right of sustainability we complete the circle at innovation once again. Bottom line. Don't focus on one aspect of performance and neglect the others. You might be better at or more interested in one than the others, but every one is important and you, more broadly, your employer, should strive for all 6. Imagine you're in your first management job, supervising a team. What would be your natural tendency? Which performance measures would you focus on, and why? How can you be sure to pay attention to the others? Some trade-offs will occur among the 6 potential advantages, but this doesn't need to be a zero-sum game in which improving one requires weakening another. The best managers try to optimize among multiple performance dimensions over time. The functions of management. Explain how the functions of management are evolving in today's business environment. Management is the process of working with people and resources to accomplish organizational goals. Good managers do those things both effectively and efficiently. To be effective is to achieve organizational goals. To be efficient is to achieve goals with minimal waste of resources. That is, to make the best possible use of money, time, materials, and people. Some managers fail on both criteria, or focus on one at the expense of another. The best managers achieve high performance by focusing on both effectiveness and efficiency. These definitions have been around for a long time, but as you know, business is changing radically. The real issue is how to do these things. Although the specifics of doing business are changing, there are still plenty of timeless principles that make managers and companies great. While fresh thinking and new approaches are required now more than ever, tried and true management practices remain relevant, useful, and adaptable, with fresh thinking to the current business environment. In the business world today, great executives not only adapt to changing conditions but also apply, rigorously, consistently, and with discipline, the fundamental management principles. These fundamentals include the 4 traditional functions of management: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. These are used in organizations of every type. Social entrepreneurs use the same management functions to achieve business excellence and to serve societal needs. See Spotlight on Business for the Better. These traditional management functions remain as relevant as ever, and they are needed in startups as much as in established corporations, but their forms have evolved. Spotlight on, you guessed it, business for the better. Can a company do well and do good at the same time? The idea that business success and positive social change can and should happen together is the driving force behind social enterprise, or social entrepreneurship. Think of social entrepreneurs as change agents, managers who commit themselves and their organizations to creating not only private value in the form of profit, but also social value in various forms, including disaster aid, sustainability, and accountability. One of the founders of the social entrepreneurship movement is Bill Drayton, who founded Ahsoka in 1981. Ahsoka works worldwide to enable everyone to be a change maker. The organization identifies and supports the world's leading social entrepreneurs, learns from the patterns in their innovations, and mobilizes a global community that embraces these new frameworks to build a better world. Since its founding, the group has expanded its operations to over 92 countries and has grown to include more than 3,500 social entrepreneurs. Ahsoka social entrepreneurs work on problems around the world in education, poverty, women's health, the environment, justice, mental health, and human trafficking, among many other challenges. In addition, Ahsoka offers social entrepreneurship educational opportunities online through Ahsoka U. In Drayton's view, anyone can be a social entrepreneur. All it takes, he says, is the ability to see a problem, put other skepticism aside, and allow yourself the time to inch your way toward a vision and then to a solution. You'll read about other social entrepreneurs and, of course, many other managers throughout this book. 1. Should every manager have the responsibility to do good and do well? Why or why not? 2. Drayton argues that anyone can be a social entrepreneur. What sort of problems would you wish to solve? Planning. Delivering strategic value. Planning is specifying the goals to be achieved and deciding in advance the appropriate actions needed to achieve those goals. Planning activities include analyzing current situations, anticipating futures, determining objectives, deciding the types of activities in which the company will engage, choosing corporate and business strategies, and determining the resources needed to achieve the organization's goals. Plans set the stage for action and for major achievements. The planning function for today's business environment, as discussed in part 2 of this book, is more dynamically described as delivering strategic value. Value is an important concept. Fundamentally, it describes the monetary amount associated with how well a job, task, good, or service meets users' needs. The users might be business owners, customers, employees, society, and even nations. The better you meet those needs in terms of quality, speed, efficiency, and so on, the more value you deliver. That value is strategic when it contributes to meeting the organization's goals. On a more personal level, you will do well to periodically ask yourself and your boss, how can I add value? Answering that question will enhance your contributions, your job performance, and your career. You will do well to periodically ask yourself and your boss, how can I add value? Delivering strategic value is a continual process of identifying opportunities to create, seize, strengthen, and sustain competitive advantage. Effectively creating value requires understanding a changing set of stakeholders and issues, including the government, the natural environment, globalization, and the dynamic economy in which ideas are king and entrepreneurs are both formidable competitors and potential collaborators. You learn about these and related topics in Chapter 4, Planning and Strategic Management. Chapter 5, Ethics, corporate responsibility and sustainability. Chapter 6, International Management, and Chapter 7, Entrepreneurship. Organizing. Building a dynamic organization. Organizing is assembling and coordinating the human, financial, physical, informational, and other resources needed to achieve goals. Organizing activities include hiring people, specifying job responsibilities, grouping jobs into work units, marshaling and allocating resources, and creating conditions so that people and things work together to achieve maximum success. Part 3 of the book describes the organizing function as building a dynamic organization. Historically, organizing involved creating an organization chart by identifying business functions, establishing reporting relationships, and having a human resource department that administered plans, programs, and paperwork. Now and in the future, effective managers will be using new forms of organizing and viewing their people as their most valuable resources. They will build organizations that are flexible and adaptive, particularly in response to changing competitive threats and customer needs. Progressive human resource practices that attract, reward, and retain the very best diverse workforce will help ensure company success. You will learn about these topics in Chapter 8, Organization Structure, Chapter 9, The Adaptive Organization, Chapter 10, Human Resource Management, and Chapter 11, Cultivating Diversity and Inclusiveness. Rosalind Brewer, former president and CEO of Sam's Club, focused on building a dynamic organization. She recently was appointed COO and group president of Starbucks. Leading, mobilizing people. Leading is stimulating people to be high performers. It includes motivating and communicating with employees individually and in groups. Leading involves connecting directly with people, helping guide and inspire them toward achieving team and organizational goals. Leading takes place in teams, departments, and divisions as well as at the top of all types of organizations. In earlier textbooks, the leading function described how managers motivate workers to come to work and execute top management's plans by doing their jobs. Today and in the future, managers must be good at mobilizing people to contribute their ideas, to use their brains in ways never needed or dreamed of in the past. As described in Part 4, managers must lead. Chapter 12, in ways that empower and motivate people. Chapter 13. More now than ever, great work must be done via great teamwork. Chapter 14. Both within work groups and across group boundaries. Ideally, underlying these processes will be effective interpersonal and organizational communication. Chapter 15. Controlling. Learning and changing. Planning, organizing, and leading do not guarantee success. The fourth function, controlling, monitors performance and implements necessary changes. By controlling, managers make sure the organization's resources are being used properly and that the organization is meeting its goals such as product quality and worker safety. When managers implement their plans, they often find that things are not working out as expected. The controlling function makes sure that goals are met. It addresses the question, are our actual outcomes consistent with our established goals? It then makes adjustments as needed. Successful organizations pay close attention to the controlling function, but Part 5 of the book makes it clear that today and for the future, key managerial challenges are far more dynamic than in the past. They involve continually learning and changing. Controls must still be in place, as described in Chapter 16. But new technologies and other innovations make it possible to control more effectively and to help people use their brains, learn, make creative contributions, and help the organization change in the ways that forge a successful future. The four management functions apply to you personally as well. You must find ways to create value, organize for your own personal effectiveness, mobilize your talents and skills as well as those of others, monitor performance, and constantly learn, develop, and change for the future. As you proceed through this book and course, we encourage you not merely to read as if management were an impersonal course subject, but to reflect on it from a personal perspective as well, seeking ideas for your own personal and professional development. Performing all four management functions. As a manager, your typical day will not be neatly divided into the four functions. You will be doing many things more or less simultaneously. Your days will be busy and fractionated, spent dealing with interruptions, meetings, and firefighting. There will be plenty to do that you wish you could be doing but can't seem to get to. These activities will include all four management functions. Some managers are particularly skilled in one or two of the four functions but not in the others. But you should devote adequate attention and resources to all four functions. You can be a skilled planner and controller, but if you organize your people improperly or fail to inspire them to perform at high levels, you will not be realizing your potential as a manager. Likewise, it does no good to be the kind of manager who loves to organize and lead, but who doesn't really understand how to determine whether you are on the right track. Good managers practice all four management functions. Knowing what they are, you can periodically ask yourself and your manager whether you are devoting adequate attention to all of them. Management in Action Progress Report highlights 2 of the 4. Management in Action. Planning and control at In-N-Out. Good managers plan how to deliver strategic value, not just for the present but into the future. For In-N-Out Burger CEO Lindsay Snyder, Planning includes preserving her company's values while also trying to expand the company's reach. That's because one secret to In-N-Out Burger's success has been to stay true to its core principles of making quality food with quality products. While many fast food chains recently introduced never frozen ground beef in their stores, In-N-Out Burger has never used frozen meats in its 70-plus year history. The chain still bakes its own buns each day and bans microwaves and heat lamps from its stores. These are controlling principles that help it deliver the consistent quality its loyal customers want. Says Snyder, "It's not about adding new products. We're making the same burger, the same fry. We're really picky and strategic. We're not going to compromise." Indeed, since taking over the company in 2010, Snyder has taken a slow but steady approach to expansion. While Snyder opened more than 80 new stores and branched out from California into states such as Texas, Oregon, she wanted to make sure that adding locations didn't result in lower quality products. "I felt a deep call to make sure that I preserve those things that my family would want," says Snyder. "I really wanted to make sure that we stayed true to what we started with. That required me to become a protector, a guardian." While some restaurants such as McDonald's have gone the franchise route, In-N-Out has been privately owned by the Snyder family since it launched in 1948. By keeping her company privately owned, Snyder can better control its strategy and direction. As of this writing, her strategy is working. Although In-N-Out Burger hasn't grown as quickly as some of its competitors, it has grown smartly. The average In-N-Out location generates twice as much revenue as the average McDonald's, while sustaining a 20% profit margin, significantly higher than its competitors. 1. In what ways do you think Snyder's planning and control efforts affect its strategy and success? 2. If you were a restaurant owner, would you be interested in applying for an In-N-Out Burger franchise? Why or why not? Management levels and skills. Compare how the nature of management varies at different organizational levels. Organizations, particularly large organizations, arrange a variety of jobs into hierarchies with multiple levels. In this section, you will learn about the types of managers found at 3 broad organizational levels: top level, middle level, and front line. Top level managers. Top level managers are the senior executives of an organization and are responsible for its overall management. Top level managers, often referred to as strategic managers, focus on long-term issues and emphasize the survival, growth, and overall effectiveness of the organization. Top managers are concerned not only with the organization as a whole, but also with the interaction between the organization and its external environment. This interaction often requires managers to work extensively with outside stakeholders and organizations. Increasingly, but like everything else about human behavior, not always, business leaders help advance social change inside and outside their companies. You might take a moment to consider current events in the domain of business and social change, how things are trending, and what kind of leader you aspire to be. The Chief Executive Officer, CEO, is the top-level manager in most companies. This individual is the primary strategic manager of the firm and has authority over everyone within it. Others include the Chief Operating Officer, COO, Chief Finance Officer, CFO, Chief Information or Technology or Knowledge Officer, and other chiefs in the C-suite, often with the title of Senior Vice President, SVP. A likely role for the modern C-suite could well be Chief Sustainability Officer or even Chief Media Officer. Middle-level managers. Middle-level managers are located in the organizational hierarchy below top-level managers and above frontline managers. They are responsible for translating the general goals and plans developed by strategic managers into more specific objectives and activities. Middle-level managers break down company objectives into business unit targets and serve as translators of internal communication. They relay top management's priorities downward and move information from the front lines upward. Not long ago, the stereotype of the middle manager connotated mediocre, unimaginative bureaucrats who defended the status quo. But middle managers are closer than top managers to day-to-day operations, customers, frontline managers, suppliers, and employees. So they have a working knowledge of problem and opportunities. They also have creative ideas, often more and better ones than their bosses. Middle managers can play crucial roles in determining which entrepreneurial ideas are blocked, which are supported, and how well they integrate with top management strategies. Good middle managers provide and operate skills and practical problem solving that keep the company working. Frontline managers. Frontline managers, or operational managers, are lower-level managers who supervise the operations of the organization. These managers often have titles such as supervisor, team leader, or assistant manager. They are directly involved with non-management employees, implementing the specific plans developed with middle managers. This organizational role is critical because operational managers are the link between management and non-management human resources. Your first management position probably will fit into this category. Traditionally, frontline managers have been directed and controlled from above to make sure that they successfully implement operations in support of company strategy. But their roles have expanded. Whereas operational execution remains vital, in leading companies, frontline managers are more innovative and entrepreneurial, managing for growth and new business development. Managers on the front line are crucial to creating and sustaining quality, innovation, and other drivers of financial performance. In outstanding organizations, talented frontline managers are not only allowed to initiate new activities but are expected to by their top and middle level managers. And they are given freedom, incentives, and support to find ways to do so. Working leaders with broad responsibilities. In small firms, and in those large companies that have adapted to the times, managers have strategic, tactical, and operational responsibilities. They are complete business people. They have knowledge of all business functions, and are accountable for results, and focus on serving customers both inside and outside their firms. This requires the ability to think strategically, translate strategies into specific objectives, coordinate resources, and do real work with all types of stakeholders. In short, today's best managers are adept at drawing from a variety of skills, behaviors, and knowledge to be successful. They focus on relationships with other people and in achieving results. They don't just make decisions, give orders, wait for others to produce, and then evaluate results. They get their hands dirty, work hard, and solve problems and produce value. What does all of this mean in practice? What do managers actually do? A classic study of top executives found that they spend their time performing 10 key activities or roles falling into 3 categories: decisional, informational, and interpersonal. Exhibit 1.2 summarizes these roles. Even though the study was done decades ago, it remains highly relevant as a description of what executives do. And even though the study focused on top executives, the managers at all levels engage in all these activities. As you review the table, you might ask yourself, which of these activities do I enjoy most? Where do I excel? Which should I improve upon? Whatever your answers, you will be learning more about these activities throughout this course. Exhibit 1.2 Managerial Roles. What managers do. First column, decisional roles. First row, entrepreneur. Searching for new business opportunities and initiating new projects to create change. Right below that, disturbance handler. Taking corrective action during crises and other conflicts. Below that, resource allocator. Providing funding and other resources to units or people includes making significant organizational decisions. Below that, negotiator. Engaging in negotiations with parties outside the organization as well as inside. For example, resource exchanges. Second column, informational roles. First row, monitor. Seeking information to understand the organization and its environment, serving as the center of communication. Below that, disseminator. Transmitting information from source to source, sometimes interpreting and integrating diverse perspectives. Below that, spokesperson. Speaking on behalf of the organization about plans, policies, actions, and results. Third column, interpersonal roles. First row, leader. Staffing, developing, and motivating people. Below that, liaison. Maintaining a network of outside contacts that provide information and favors. Below that, figurehead. Performing symbolic duties, for example, ceremonies, and serving other social and legal demands. Must-have management skills. Define the skills you need to be an effective manager. Performing management functions and roles and achieving competitive advantage are the cornerstones of a manager's job. However, understanding this does not ensure success. Managers need a variety of skills to do these things well. Skills are specific abilities that result from knowledge, information, practice, and aptitude. The many specific skills managers need, which you will learn about throughout this textbook, fall into three broad, essential categories: technical skills, conceptual and decision skills, and interpersonal and communication skills. Newly promoted supervisors and managers can underestimate the challenges of management and the many skills required. But when managers apply these three critical management skills to the four management functions, the result is high performance. Technical. A technical skill is the ability to perform a specialized task that involves a certain method or process. The technical skills you learn in school will provide you with the opportunity to get an entry-level position. They will also help you as a manager. For example, your accounting and finance courses will develop the technical skills you need to understand and manage the financial resources of an organization. Conceptual and decision. Conceptual and decision skills involve the ability to identify and resolve problems for the benefit of the organization and everyone concerned. Managers use these skills when they consider the organization's overall strategy, the interactions among its different parts, and the role of the business in its external environment. As you acquire greater responsibility, you will use your conceptual and decision skills with increasing frequency. Much of this book is devoted to enhancing your conceptual and decision skills, but experience also will help you develop these skills. Interpersonal and communication. Interpersonal and communication skills help managers work well with people and are often called people skills. Managers spend the great majority of their time interacting with people, and they must develop their abilities to lead, motivate, and communicate effectively with those around them. The importance of these skills varies by managerial level. Technical skills are most important early in your career. Conceptual and decision skills become more important than technical skills as you rise higher in the company. But interpersonal skills such as communicating effectively with customers and being a good team player are important throughout your career at every level of management. So, remember that, as noted, the importance of these skill sets differs by organizational level and job, but all will be important in various ways in your work. Moreover, the nature of interpersonal and communication processes varies across regions and countries around the world. This will affect how you can most effectively make decisions and apply your technical skills. More on this later in the book. You and your career. Understand the principles that will help you manage your career. At the beginning of your career, your contribution to your employer depends on your own performance. Often that's all you're responsible for. But on becoming a manager, you have additional responsibilities, supervising other people. To use an orchestra analogy, instead of playing an instrument, you're a conductor, coordinating others' efforts. The challenge is much greater than most first-time managers expect it to be. Throughout your career, you will need to lead teams effectively as well as influence people over whom you have no authority. Thus, the human skills are especially important. Business people often talk about emotional intelligence. The skills of understanding yourself, including strengths and limitations, managing yourself, dealing with emotions, making good decisions, seeking and using feedback, exercising self-control, and dealing effectively with others, listening, showing empathy, motivating, leading, and so on. Dealing effectively with others has always been essential. Managing yourself may be more important than ever in the gig economy. Characterized by financial unemployment insecurity, self-managed careers, job and career changes, and physical and social separation. Executives who score low on EQ are less likely to be rated as excellent on their performance reviews, and their divisions tend not to perform as well. But please take note, the common phrase emotional intelligence is controversial. You should not consider EQ to be a type of intelligence, but a set of skills that you can learn and develop. The issue is not lacking ability to change. You can, but lacking versus having the interest to learn and apply such skills. This is just a brief introduction to EQ. You will learn much more about related topics as you read later chapters. What should you do to forge a successful, gratifying career? You'll find some suggestions below, and many others in later chapters. Be both a specialist and a generalist. If you think your career will be as a specialist, think again. Chances are you will not want to stay forever in strictly technical jobs with no managerial responsibilities. Accountants are promoted to team leaders and accounting department heads, sales representatives become sales managers, writers become editors, and nurses become nursing directors. As your responsibilities increase, you will deal with more people, learn about other parts of the organization, and make bigger and more complex decisions. Beginning to learn now about these managerial challenges will yield benefits sooner than you think. So, it will help to be both a specialist and a generalist. Seek to become a specialist. You should be an expert in something useful. This will give you specific skills that help you provide concrete, identifiable value to your organization and to customers. And over time, you should learn to be a generalist, knowing enough about a variety of subject matters so that you can think strategically and work with different perspectives. Exhibit 1.3 gives you more career advice from experts. Exhibit 1.3 Career Advice from the Experts. Escape the industry-specific silo. Develop a skill set that transcends a single function, industry, or career path. Know what you know and find ways to apply it. Be a lifelong learner. No one can rest on what they already know. Manage your online presence. Expand your network and post about your industry and functional expertise. Never compromise your integrity. Do the right thing and remember that perception and reality matter. Take a long view. Look at your career as a journey and stay true to yourself. Prevent obsolescence. Job security comes from current and transportable skills. Zigzag strategically. Job changing can be high risk, but not if you have measurable accomplishments. Be willing to take on tough projects. Continually challenge yourself. Putting this another way, exploit, use, apply, take advantage of what you know, and explore, search for new experiences, ideas, knowledge, and perspectives. To both exploit and explore is to be ambidextrous. Organizations should be ambidextrous, and so should we all. Be self-reliant. To be self-reliant means to take full responsibility for yourself and your actions. You cannot count on your manager or your company to take care of you. A useful metaphor is to think of yourself as a business, with you as president and sole employee. To be self-reliant, find new ways to make your overall performance better. Don't just do your assigned tasks and hope people appreciate it. Innovate responsibly and improve your work and contributing in new ways. Success requires more than talent. You also have to be willing to work hard. The elite world-class performers in many fields, including managers and leaders, reach the top tier only after 10 years or more of hard work and good coaching. The key is to engage in consistent practice, looking at the results and identifying where to improve. Don't just do your work and wait for new projects. Look for opportunities to contribute in new ways. It's easy to see how this works for artists and athletes, but how about business managers? The answer is to focus on getting better results each time you try any business task. Whether it's writing a report, making a presentation, or interpreting a financial statement. To know whether you're getting better, make a point of asking for feedback from customers, colleagues, bosses, and mentors. To develop your full potential, assess yourself, including your interests, aptitudes, and personal character strengths. Reflect on it. Ask others who know you well. Conduct a formal exercise in which you learn what others consider to be your best self. And use advances in psychology to identify your signature strengths, such as Gallup's Clifton Strengths Assessment. Consider the professional image and reputation you would like to develop. Write down your goals and use them for guidance. Connect with people. Being connected means having many good working relationships and interpersonal contacts. For example, those who want to become partners in professional service organizations, such as social media marketing, accounting, advertising, and consulting firms, strive constantly to build a network of contacts. When you start with a new employer, social relationships will teach you about the organization and job. Networks of diverse individuals can make huge contributions to your professional and development, no matter what your career. Even as evidence shows, if you hope to be inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Social capital is the goodwill stemming from your social relationships, and you can mobilize it on your behalf. It aids your career success, compensation, employment, team effectiveness, entrepreneurship, and relationships with suppliers and other outsiders. Today, much of that social capital can be tapped, of course, online at social networking websites. All business is a function of human relationships. Building competitive advantage depends not only on you, but on other people. Management is personal. Commercial dealings are personal. Purchase decisions, repurchase decisions, and contracts all hinge on relationships. Even the biggest business deals, like takeovers and mergers, are intensely personal and emotional. Without healthy and productive relationships, you will not achieve your potential as a manager and leader. Bottom line. To encourage visitors to your LinkedIn profile to think of you as a future manager, be sure to include skills and experiences that suggest you have good interpersonal and team leadership skills. Actively manage your relationship with your organization. We noted the importance of taking responsibility for your own actions and your own career. Unless you are self-employed and your own boss, one way to do this is to think about the nature of the relationship between you and your employer. Exhibit 1.4 shows two possible relationships, and you have some control over which relationship develops. Number 1. You as a passive employee. Employer to you. Number 2. You as an active contributor in a mutually beneficial relationship. You to your organization, and your organization back to you. Two organization and employee relationships are shown. In the first, the employer is above you, a passive employee. In the second, you and your organization are on an equal level and impact each other. You are an active contributor in a productive relationship. Relationship number 1 is one in which you view yourself as an employee and passively expect your employer to tell you what to do and give you pay and benefits. Your employer is in charge and you are a passive recipient of its actions. In this relationship, your contributions are likely to be adequate but minimal. You won't make contributions that strengthen your organization. If all employees take this perspective, the organization is not likely to prosper in the long run. Personally, you may lose your job or keep your job in a declining organization, or simply be unengaged in your work. In contrast, relationship number 2 is a two-way relationship in which you and your organization both benefit from one another. The mindset is different. Instead of doing what you are told, you think about how you can contribute and add value, and you act accordingly. To the extent that your organization values your contributions, you are more likely to benefit in return by receiving additional rewards, support for further personal development, and a more gratifying job and work environment. If you think in broad terms about how you can help your company, and if others think like this as well, your employer will be better at innovating, cutting costs, and delivering quality products quickly to an expanding customer base. As the company's bottom line strengthens, benefits accrue to many stakeholders as well as to you and other employees. Exhibit 1.5. Managerial action is your opportunity to contribute. Exhibit 1.5 shows how you can contribute to your organization through managerial actions such as delivering strategic value, building a dynamic organization, mobilizing people, and learning and changing. Survive and thrive. Your employer will hold you accountable for your actions and for results. In the past, people at many companies could show up, do an okay job, get a decent evaluation, and get a raise equal to the cost of living and maybe higher. Today, managers must do a lot more, better. Management scholar Peter Drucker, in considering what makes managers effective, noted that some are charismatic, whereas some are not. And some are visionary, whereas others are more numbers-oriented. But successful executives do share some common practices. They convey to others why we do what we do. They ask what needs to be done, not just, what do I want to do? They write an action plan. They don't just think, they do, based on a sound, ethical plan. They take responsibility for decisions. This requires checking up, revisiting, and changing if necessary. They focus on opportunities, not just problems. Problems have to be solved, and problem solving prevents more damage. But capturing opportunities is what creates great results. Career success is most likely if you are flexible, creative, and motivated. You need to learn how to think strategically, make decisions, and work in teams. You will learn more about these throughout this book, and periodically you will see boxed features titled Take Charge of Your Career. The first one appears in Appendix A of this chapter. Onward. Management in Action, Lindsay Snyder. Organizing for Efficiency. Efficiency requires effective organizing. Fast food outlets sometimes boast as many as 80 menu items. The wildly popular In-N-Out Burger, managed by CEO Lindsay Snyder, serves fewer than 15, including burgers, fries, and its signature 2-patty double-double. That leads to streamlined production and stronger quality control standards across its stores. Snyder hasn't rushed to flood the market with In-N-Outs nationwide. Her restraint and dedication to organizational efficiency promises a strong profit-generating store with each new opening. With strong profits and no debt, the company is worth several $billion. Meanwhile, Snyder herself recently scored a 99% approval rating by In-N-Out employees. Should you need additional proof that Snyder's leadership and dedication to sound management principles is working, In-N-Out opened its first location in Colorado at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. On the day of its opening, local police reported the line of traffic waiting to get in was 2 miles long. Literally. And the wait upwards of 14 hours. That's loyalty. You'll learn much more about efficiency and organization in this book. What are your initial thoughts? Why does efficiency require effective organization? Based on what you know about Snyder, what do you think of her as a manager? Would you want to work for her? Why or why not? Key terms: conceptual and decision skills, controlling, coopetition, cost competitiveness, emotional intelligence, EQ, frontline managers, innovation, interpersonal and communication skills, knowledge management, leading, management, middle-level managers, organizing, planning, quality, service, social capital, speed, sustainability, technical skill, top-level managers, and value. Conceptual and decision skills. Skills pertaining to abilities that help identify and resolve problems for the benefit of the organization and its members. Controlling. The management function of monitoring performance and making needed changes. Coopetition. Simultaneous competition and cooperation among companies with the intent of creating value. Cost competitiveness. Keeping costs low to achieve profits and be able to offer prices that are attractive to consumers. Emotional intelligence. EQ. Skills of understanding yourself, managing yourself, and dealing effectively with others. Frontline managers. Lower level managers who supervise the operational activities of the organization. Innovation. The introduction of new goods and services, a changing in method or technology, a positive, useful departure from previous ways of doing things. Interpersonal and communication skills. People skills, the ability to lead, motivate, and communicate effectively with others. Knowledge management. Practices aimed at discovering and harnessing an organization's intellectual resources. Leading. The management function that involves the manager's efforts to stimulate high performance by employees. Management. The process of working with people and resources to accomplish organizational goals. Middle level managers. Managers located in the middle layers of the organizational hierarchy, reporting to top-level executives. Organizing. The management function of assembling and coordinating human, financial, physical, informational, and other resources needed to achieve goals. Planning. The management function of systematically making decisions about the goals and activities that an individual, a group, a work unit, or the overall organization will pursue. See also strategic planning. Quality. The excellence of your product, goods or services. Service. The speed and dependability with which an organization delivers what customers want. Social capital. Goodwill stemming from your social relationships, a competitive advantage in the form of relationships with other people and the image other people have of you. Speed. Fast and timely execution, response, and delivery of products. Sustainability. A long-term perspective on sustaining the natural environment and building tomorrow's business opportunities while effectively managing today's business. Technical skill. The ability to perform a specialized task involving a particular method or process. Top-level managers. Senior executives responsible for the overall management and effectiveness of the organization. Value. The monetary amount associated with how well a job, task, good, or service meets users' needs. Retaining what you learned. You learn that change is the only constant for managers in today's business world. You also learn that high-performance managers seek to deliver superior value to customers by providing high-quality, innovative services or products in a timely, cost-effective, and sustainable manner. The fundamental functions and activities of management are just as important as they were back in the day. However, their forms have evolved greatly and their strategies and tactics continue to change. Depending on your organizational level, you'll be expected to engage in certain roles and master a variety of managerial skills. Your career and your professional and personal development along the way are in your hands. Summarize the major challenges of managing in the new competitive landscape. In business, there is no alternative to managing well. The best managers succeed by focusing on the fundamentals and knowing what's important. The goal of this book is to help you become an effective, high-performance manager. Managers today must deal with dynamic forces that create greater change than ever before, including globalization, technological change, including the continuing development and new applications of the internet, knowledge management, and collaboration across organizational boundaries. Describe the sources of competitive advantage for a company. Because business is a competitive arena, you need to deliver value to customers in ways that are superior to what your competitors provide. Competitive advantages result from innovation, quality, service, speed, cost, competitiveness, and sustainability. Explain how the function of management are evolving in today's business environment. Despite massive change, management retains certain functions that will not disappear. The primary functions of management are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Planning is analyzing a situation, determining the goals that will be pursued, and deciding in advance the actions needed to pursue these goals. Organizing is assembling the resources needed to complete the job and coordinating employees and tasks for maximum success. Leading is motivating people and stimulating high performance. Controlling is monitoring the progress of the organization or the work and unit toward goals and then taking corrective action as needed. In the modern business environment, these functions require creating strategic value, building a dynamic organization, mobilizing people, and learning and changing. Compare how the nature of management varies at different organizational levels. Top-level strategic managers are the senior executives responsible for the organization's overall management. Middle-level, tactical managers translate general goals and plans into more specific objectives and activities. Frontline operational managers are lower-level managers who supervise operations. Managers at all levels must perform a variety of decisional, informational, and interpersonal roles. Even at the operational level, the best managers think strategically and operate like complete business people. Define the skills you need to be an effective manager. To execute management functions successfully, managers need technical skills, conceptual and decision-making skills, and interpersonal and communication skills. A technical skill is the ability to perform a specialized task involving certain methods or processes. Conceptual and decision skills help the manager recognize complex and dynamic issues, analyze the factors that influence those issues or problems, and make appropriate decisions. Interpersonal and communication skills enable the manager to interact and work well with people. As you rise to higher organizational levels, technical skills tend to become less important and conceptual skills become more important, whereas interpersonal and communication skills remain extremely important at every level. Don't forget to consider cross-cultural and individual differences as you engage these skill sets with other people. More on these topics in later chapters. Understand the principles that will help you manage your career. You are more likely to succeed in your career if you become both a specialist and a generalist. You should be self-reliant but also connected. You should actively manage your relationship with your organization and continuously improve your skills so you can perform as needed in the changing work environment. It's your call, but we suggest striving to not just survive in your jobs, but also to thrive. Alright, so that's about it for this chapter. Next would be discussion questions, experimental exercises, and the concluding case, and the appendix, and Appendix A glossary. So, yeah, that's it for this chapter. A lot of useful information. I enjoyed the definitions of the different managerial levels. That was really cool. This book is very in-depth and thorough with the online aspects of it. I like how you can hover over words and it'll define it for you instead of just telling you to refer to the glossary like some other programs do. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Cengage. But yeah, that's about it. I'm finally getting over this cold, thank God. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be my favorite class for this semester. I like how it's gives you a lot of information. Not that other topics don't, or other courses don't, but this one gives you a little bit of everything because it's managerial. And I don't know, I like it's a lot about you as an individual, I feel like, compared to other courses. But yeah, that's about it. Comment what I can be doing better with these, and I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your morning, day, evening, or night, depending on when you are listening to this. So yeah, see ya.